In this second Skyhop devlog, we'll be adding some more effects and weapons to the game. By adding more weapons, the player has a bigger variety of weapons to choose from, and by adding some more effects, we can also make the game look better. Let's go! But before we can do that, we first need to spice up the graphics a bit, because currently the graphics don't really look too good. I really want to make sure that the graphics look nice, because it's what the player looks at most of the time while playing the game, and if the graphics are not good, the player won't have fun playing the game. The dev said that we could make the graphics look better by using Unity's Universal Render Pipeline. Because it was not currently in my game, I first needed to install the Universal Render Pipeline, and after doing that, we had some big problems because all of the graphics were gone and everything was replaced by this pink missing graphics texture. Not really cool. I fixed it and added in the old graphics again, but there are still some pink ones that we need to fix. We can easily do this by dragging in the right materials, and there we go. After fixing this issue, it was time to add some post-processing to make the graphics look better. So I played around with a bunch of post-processing effects, and after playing around with all these effects, I found a look that I really liked and changed the looks of the game. This is what the game looked before, and this is what the game looked after applying these effects. I'm not entirely sure if this looks that much better, but please let me know what you think of this new look in the comments down below. And it was definitely not supposed to look like this, oh no. But suddenly the game was 2D and third person, and the camera was not following the player around. This is not good at all. Why is this happening? It was just a little setting that I accidentally changed. But now, after changing it back to how it was before, the game is 3D again, and we've also got the new post-processing effects in place. Very cool. So now that we've improved the overall looks of the game, it's time to add some effects. First of all, I added an impact effect for the gun, so that you actually see that your actions have an impact, and you can also see what you're shooting at. There is this little dust thing. I also made a pane of glass, which breaks into a lot of pieces if you collide with it. In order to create this effect, inside of Blender I made two different panes of glass. A broken version and a non-broken version. Then I just wrote some code that checks if the player collides with it, and if he does, we instantiate the destroyed version and afterwards destroy it again. I actually wanted to create a slow motion effect, but that didn't really work. But perhaps I can make it work in the future. Next, I wanted to add some more weapons. But first we need to fix a bug. Because of this bug, the player is able to jump in the air, and with that the player is able to fly around the whole scene, which isn't really that good, because what's the point of having a parkour game if the player just can fly? It was not really good. For some reason, what is ground was set to lighting, and I just needed to set it to what is ground, and now we cannot fly around anymore, which is very good. Then I hopped over into Blender and started modeling a machine gun using a reference photo from Google. So I brought the machine gun into the game, but the muzzle flash is not in place and the explosions are way too big. I need to do something about this. So I fixed it, wrote some more code that allows the player to shoot the machine gun even if you just hold down the key constantly and you don't need to press it every time you want to shoot. You can just hold it down and then the machine gun like fires, just like a machine gun. And I also made the hammer that we created in episode 1 a weapon, as well as adding a pickaxe that is also a weapon now. The blood effect for some reason still has no textures, and I couldn't figure out how I can replace this texture, but I'll promise you I'll make it work in the future devlog. Then I began making a new enemy, because he currently is just a cube. So I began modeling a human-like enemy inside of Blender. I'm not a doctor, but I'm 100% sure that looking like this isn't healthy at all. And looking like this is certainly not better. So I went on to Mixamo to download some humanoid characters as well as animations. But then I decided to make one on my own in Blender, because otherwise I wouldn't learn anything. This looks a lot better than what we had before. Then I added a red material to the enemy, because enemies are red and evil. And currently our enemy is just standing around in T-pose, which isn't really good, and he's not attacking the player at all. But we'll be rigging and animating this enemy in the next devlog, so he can actually attack us and not just stand around. And in the next devlog we'll also be adding some attack animations to the hammer, the sword and the pickaxe, because currently the combat doesn't really look that good. In the last devlog I also asked you if you have any name suggestions for this cute little slime pad, and Charcoal said that we could call this slime pad Cyto, because he has one eye and cytoplasm has a gel-like fluid just like slime, and this is a really great idea. So from now on we'll call this slime Cyto. As some people said on the last devlog, the game is currently a lot like Karlson. Just to make things clear here, I don't want to rip off Karlson. I know my game currently is very similar to Karlson. It has similar graphics and similar effects and stuff, but I want to place this game in some kind of sky city where you then need to complete missions and stuff. So I'll definitely add some more unique features to this game in future devlogs. Like if you liked, dislike if you didn't. Smash subscribe and ring that bell that you don't miss any future devlogs here on my channel, and leave me ideas for the game in the comments down below. And then I hope I'll see you soon. Bye!